Hey, you are watching AliAziz YouTube channel.
Top 50 Management Interview Questions and Answers for Fresh and Experienced Candidates. 1. How do you handle the pressure? I stay calm under pressure and handle it well. My complete focus is on the job done. 2. How do you motivate yourself? I am very self-motivated. I enjoy my work, so I am always looking for new ideas to bring to the table. With my passion being the work that I do, I am always giving my full potential to all my tasks. 3. Why are you leaving your current position? There isn't much growth opportunity at my current workplace, and I'm ready for a new challenge. 4. What is the most challenging thing about being a manager? The most challenging thing about being a manager is also the most rewarding. It is easy to handle your performance, however, as a manager, you are responsible for your teams. So you must continually measure their performance, set clear expectations, goals, motivate them, and keep them focused. It is a great feeling to be able to accomplish this. 5. How do you manage your workload? I prioritize my task by what is most important and urgent to least important and urgent. If there are some tasks that I can assign to others, I will also delegate. 6. What kind of work environment do you prefer? I am flexible to my work environment. I can adapt according to almost any situation. 7. Do you take your work home with you? I know the importance of getting work done in a timely manner. So when I need it, I will take work home with me if needed. 8. Why did you apply for this position? I wanted to join a company like ABC that values their employees and helps them achieve their potential. This position is a great fit for my current skills, so I will be able to contribute to the company immediately. There is also an opportunity to continue to develop my abilities to the next level and help in company's continued success. 9. What do you think your employees would say about your management style? They would say that I am straightforward and my actions are aligned with the goals of the company. They would say that I am an open communicator and give them the tools they need to succeed. 10. What are qualities of a successful manager? A successful manager must also be a leader because that is how you can motivate and influence your employees to perform at their peak ability. A manager must also have the vision to take the team and company. 11. How do you motivate your employees in tough times? I believe that as a leader, I have to be the one who is constantly driving an atmosphere of positivity and focus. I make sure that I am acting and saying positive things about my employees. I remind them daily of the goals and celebrate as we accomplish them. 12. How do you delegate an important assignment to others while ensuring that it will be completed successfully? I try to match up the strengths of my employees with the task, or if it is something they are learning. If it is the latter, I will provide support and check in to ensure that it's completed correctly. With an employee that is strong in the task, I will check in periodically. Either way, I set up milestones for the employee to let me know how they are progressing. 13. Do you have an example of when you motivated your staff using a reward? I communicated the reward and the goal to the staff and ensured they understood how to win the reward. Then on a daily basis, each employee had to keep track of their progress with the rest of the team. That kept each member personally accountable for the reward. This gave an additional motivational piece for them to complete the goal. 14. How do you keep updated on your management skills? I continually read a book about the subject matter. I listen to feedback that I receive from my leaders and implement them. When opportunities arise that will provide a challenge to my current skills, I will take on the task. 15. What are some of your weaknesses? I have started multiple projects at one time. I know that it is more productive to complete one task at a time. So anytime I catch myself doing this, I take a step back and prioritize my work. 16. What type of pace do you work? I keep a steady pace. This way I am being efficient with my time and going at a pace that I do not make mistakes. 17. What do you think will be the most challenging part of this position? It will be to build the relationship with my employees because that will take time. However, I also feel it is one of the most rewarding part of this position. I enjoy relationship building and helping others to achieve their success. 18. Why should we hire you? Refer to the job description for this question. You need a manager who is confident, goal-driven, and can motivate your team. I have those qualities and will be able to take the team to the next level that your organization needs. 19. What do you think are important aspects of a team? To have a diverse group of people who have a basis of trust and respect for each other. The communication level must be high and the ability to work together as a team. 20. Do you have experience with setting budgets? Yes, I have set budgets in the past. I look at what the typical cost for a certain activity would be based on history or other managers' experience. I set the budget based on these metrics. 21. What was the least rewarding part of your previous position? Some of the paperwork that I would handle for another department on an occasional basis. 22. What will you contribute to this company? I will contribute my experience and knowledge. I have vision. Moreover, I have necessarily experienced in the areas that this company will need to grow, and I have a plan that will facilitate that growth. 23. What is your greatest strength? My greatest strength would be my ability to drive my team to excellence. I give them all the tools they need to be successful, communicate on an open level, and constantly evaluate performance. 24. How would you go about delivering bad news or a decision that will not be popular? I would state the news, the reasons behind the news decision, and I would focus on the positives. I would also take time to ask questions or feedback and answer accordingly. 25. How do you establish rapport with a new employee? I will have an initial one-on-one meeting with a new employee to let them know what my expectations are and also learn about how they like to be managed. That's a way I will understand how to be effective when I communicate with them. 26. How do you communicate an expectation to an employee? I make sure that there are no distractions when I am speaking to the employee. We will meet on face-to-face, and I will clearly state what the expectation is. I will ask if they have any questions and ask them to restate it so we are on the same page. 7. How do you handle different personalities of your employees? I get to know each person on an individual level so I can adjust my style to suit each person effectively. It's a positive thing to have people with different personalities because you can get a lot of different viewpoints that are valuable for ideas and decision making. 38. How do you adapt to change? When a change occurs, I ensure that I have all the information about it first. I understand all the implications and the possible reactions to the change. As a manager, you must be the first to adapt to the change, so I adjust accordingly. Then after communicating the change to my employees, I help them improve and show my buy-in to the change. 39. What do you find most rewarding about your previous position? I found it very rewarding to help my employees achieve success and move on to different roles. There is nothing more satisfying than watching someone grow and achieve their potential. 34. Describe how you would manage your work week. I would use Monday to come in early and prioritize my work for the week. I will set up deadlines and goals for each day of the week. I would make sure that I allocate some time each day for a certain task that may come up. That way, I have a plan of attack for each day of the week and also time to handle unexpected activities. 35. How would you explain your management style? I am a relationship builder. I get to know my employees and gain their trust and confidence. I am very direct and to the point in my communication style, so there is no ambiguity in my messages. 36. How would you go about disciplining an employee who is continually underperforming? I would have given them the opportunity to improve their performance first and set those expectations. In this conversation, I would also ensure they understand what will happen if they do not improve their performance. However, if they are still underperforming, I would refer to the guidelines of the organization first to take the necessary action steps. Then I would meet with the employee and show them how they have not been performing. I would tie that to the action steps that are necessary from this point. We would then set expectations and a plan to improve performance. If the performance issues continue, then we will continue the disciplinary steps. 37. How do you handle different personalities of your employees? I get to know each person on an individual level so I can adjust my style to suit each person effectively. It's a positive thing to have people with different personalities because you can get a lot of different viewpoints that are valuable for ideas and decision making. 38. How do you adapt to change? When a change occurs, I ensure that I have all the information about it first. I understand all the implications and the possible reactions to the change. As a manager, you must be the first to adapt to the change, so I adjust accordingly. Then after communicating the change to my employees, I help them improve and show my buy-in to the change. 39. What do you find most rewarding about your previous position? I found it very rewarding to help my employees achieve success and move on to different roles. There is nothing more satisfying than watching someone grow and achieve their potential. 40. Have you ever challenged the status quo? Yes, I looked at processes that have not been successful to find ways to improve that process. Once I have my plan, I will take it to my leader. I keep to the facts and show how the current way of doing is not effective and how a new approach would be beneficial. 41. How would you handle a decision you made that did not have the effect that you were expecting to achieve? I would trace the root cause and try to minimize the damage. I would then take this as a learning opportunity and try a different solution for the current problem. However, if it is not possible to do this, I would ensure that I do not take the same decision in a future situation. 42. How do you evaluate what success is? At work, I evaluate success by meeting the goals that have been set forth by my leaders and team. 43. What are your goals for the future if you were hired in this company? To continue, learn, and take on additional responsibilities. I see myself contributing as much value as I can. 44. How will you achieve these goals? This company has training for their employees that I would be interested in attending. I also plan to continue my professional development by attending seminars, continuing my education, and other activities. 45. How would you go about disagreeing with your supervisor about a decision that you know is not the right one? I always build a strong working relationship with my supervisor, so in situations like these where I have a different opinion, I can openly speak to them. I would stick to the facts. I explain the implications of that decision to my supervisor. Then I would help come up with alternatives. 46. How do you show confidence in your employees' ability when you assign them a task? When I delegate the task, I talk about how I thought that they were the best person to handle this task. I give them all the resources they need to achieve success. I follow up and set deadlines as well. During these follow-ups and deadlines, I make sure to show my confidence in the person on their progress. 47. An employee reports a problem to you. How do you go about solving it? I will review all the relevant facts to consider alternatives. I will then decide on the most appropriate action. 48. How do you motivate an employee who is reluctant to take on an additional task? I take a look at their needs and perspectives to understand why they are reluctant. I would ensure that they have all the tools necessary to complete the task. I would communicate the goal, gain commitment, and establish a reward or incentive that will motivate the employee. 49. You are at a point with an employee that it is best to have them leave the organization. How would you go about the conversation? I would clearly state what the expectations from this person have been and the track record so far. I would tie that in with a decision that it is time to let them go from the organization due to performance goals not being met. In these situations, it's important to stick to the facts. 50. An employee wants a promotion. However, he or she is not qualified for the new position. How would you have the conversation with the employee? I would sit them down and let them know what the qualifications are for the position and explain the reasons why they are not ready for the position. Then we would work with the employee to put together an action plan that will help them work on the skills they would need for the position. I would regularly check on how they are progressing to ensure they are on the right track.